Jim Pillen made his State of the State address today to the Unicam, highlighting his desire to invest in the children of Nebraska by investing in education at nearly all levels.
Governor Pillen plans to create property tax relief by investing millions into the Property Tax Credit Relief Fund and create tax cuts for families.
Pillen also announced the governor's office will not, quote, have a penny more than it did in the last fiscal year, and his proposed budget restricts spending to a growth of 1.3% over 2 years.
We all agree we are taxed way too much in Nebraska. Our tax policy chases our kids out, chases our grandparents out of this state. We can't grow Nebraska that way. From my view, it's really simple. We must have the courage to say no. No to overspending, and maintain a focus of investing in our kids and giving this money back to Nebraskans via historic property and income tax cuts.
The legislature is now in day 15 of its 90-day session. Along with hundreds of bills to discuss, senators will also have to pass a 2-year budget.
Individual income.
Several responses today to the governor's address. A joint statement from Nebraska Healthcare and Human Service Providers reads in part, quote, "The governor's budget proposal ignores the crisis. It ignores the financial realities of the increasing costs to provide care, and this budget jeopardizes the care that rural Nebraskans, especially our elderly Nebraskans and vulnerable families, have access to." They're calling on the legislature to continue to fund these services.
Nebraska Democratic Party Chair Jane Klebb issued this response, saying in part, quote, "Governor Pillen showed us today that he has no interest in tackling the big issues facing our state. Instead, Pillen is waging culture wars to further divide Nebraskans."